Milwaukee County Sheriff, our friend David Clarke, is back with us. Sheriff, on behalf of all of us that thank all of you in law enforcement for what you do, this should never happen. This man was assassinated clearly because he was wearing the uniform.
Sean, this was unthinkable, but this isn't the first time that it's happened. If you go back to December when two of New York's finest officers, Wenjin Liu and Ramos, were gunned down in their cruiser as they just sat on patrol in the streets of New York City. There is a correlation here. There's a cause and effect to what's going on. And there is an anti-cop sentiment that is sweeping the nation. Anybody that would say that there isn't is in denial. I'm not going to stick my head in the sand. It's for what I said about this movement, the vile, the filth, the vulgarity, the garbage that's coming out of this rhetoric. That is slime. And if the shoe fits, then they're going to have to wear it.
You know, it's worse than that, too, because the Democratic Party on Friday endorsed this movement. Then the next day on Saturday, this is the Black Lives Matter movement literally chanting pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon during a march. And the Democratic Party supported them the day before in this resolution at the DNC. Watch this.
Pigs in a blanket, fry like bacon. 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 Pigs in a blanket, fry like bacon.
What is your reaction to that, especially in light of the fact that they were endorsed by the DNC just the night before?
Well, they spawned this movement, and they know it, and now they're going to have to live with it. I'm going to make them own this movement and this group, this filth that's come out of this. This has become a political construct now, and the Democrat Party and their officials, they know that. Look, there is no place in American culture, in American society, for this sort of garbage as part of our American discourse. Okay, we can agree, we can disagree, we can go back and forth with spirited debate, but nothing like this. When you do not have First Amendment protection to threaten people's lives, when Louis Farrakhan calls for looking for 10,000 people to indiscriminately kill whites and cops and other groups, you know who they are, the ones, the F-Yo flag movement as well. That stuff is beyond the sort of thing that we should tolerate, and that's why I said it should be eradicated from American discourse,
Sheriff,
and I meant that.
Look, I'm a believer in free speech. I make my living using free speech. What happens when people cross a line? There was an internet radio show where a guy is saying, let's turn the tide. Let's start lynching white people. Let's have white people hanging from a tree, turn the tables on them and sacrifice them, and now's the time to do it. Aren't those terroristic threats? Isn't that against the law?
Well, yes, you have First Amendment protection from the government, okay? The government is limited as to what they can do in those instances, but this is not absolute. And you don't have First Amendment protection from a counter-narrative and a counter-message from people who don't agree with that filth. So that's why I'm calling on all law-abiding Americans to engage this movement, to confront this movement, to have a counter-message, a counter-narrative, gather where they gather, protest, counter-protest, hold your signs up. We support the police. We support the Constitution. We support America. And that their negative vulgarity, their vile, has no place in American society. And unless you confront this, as you know, it's going to continue to go on.
Look at what happened, though, with Governor O'Malley. Said Black lives matter, white lives matter, all lives matter. I would say Hispanic lives matter, Asian lives matter, and cops' lives matter as well. And he ended up apologizing. He was booed by fellow Democrats for saying all lives matter. That to me is telling.
We have seen no leadership on this issue to get America out of this tailspin, this divisiveness that is sweeping the country. It's been bad for America.
All right, Sheriff, thank you. Appreciate it. And when we come back, we'll